Hey, secondary math 3 students. So once again, strongly suggest the packet, but we're not going to do these Zoom codes. I am doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Again, there's only a couple students coming each time, but for this one, the collection of data, the 10.3, I'm going to tell you that if you don't have this packet, you're gonna have to do something like this, because otherwise I don't really know how. That's how I've been checking. It took me 21 minutes to figure. I was very distracted. Do you see that little word, distracted? 12 minutes to do the homework and 4 minutes to do the quiz. So like you, it takes me more time to absorb the information than to just take the quiz, right? So total for me was 37 minutes, but it was brand new information to me. I've never really taught information like this, but you would need to write it all out, because you're gonna need to use this on the quiz and on the test. I hope you're using your notes just like we always do in class. But what's happening here is there's a lot of vocabulary, okay? So a self-selected group is people who volunteer. Hey, I wanna take that survey, okay? Systematic says that we use a rule, like we use every third person, or we use, we go to all the English classes and we take our SBO elections, right? That's a systematic sampling. Moving on, we have a stratified sample, which means that we're going to divide them into smaller groups and then just test one group. So yeah, we're going to go to all our English classes, but we're only going to take people on the upper B hall. Okay, all right. And then another one would be the cluster sample, which means that yes, we divide them into groups, but then we do one or more of each. So we would go like this. So we would split them up in English classes again. It's just an example, but you know what I'm saying. So we would split up in the English classes and then ask like the first 2 kids that come in the class. All right, and then convenience is when it's just easy to reach. Like, remember when they were voting against raising the taxes on food, and so people asked people going into Harmon's. The Harmon's people said, hey, coming into Harmon's, hey, answer this question. Do you want us to raise taxes on the food? Well, no. So that's a convenience sample. But notice your quiz is really just about understanding this, which is which, okay? And then, so you're gonna identify, and then they're gonna talk a lot about bias. Bias means like a misrepresentation, an error, or just like if you were to ask me who's my favorite student, I'm gonna have bias towards students who act better in class. I'm sorry if you can hear my children. That's just, they're crazy. You know what? We're all tired of isolation, so it happens. Okay, so it's basically, you want to try and draw conclusions. It's important to have an unbiased sample, but there is bias. There just is. In this world, people have bias. They have preferences. They have mindsets, right? So an unbiased sample is whenever equal representation, basically. Okay, it's a sample that's overrepresented, or if something is overrepresented or underrepresented, that's called a biased sample. So like if we went to our school, Hunter High School, and I said, I'm only going to ask left-handed people, or that's probably not a good example. I'm only going to ask athletes this question, right? Well, that means that there's the athletes would be overrepresented, and everyone who's not an athlete would be underrepresented. So it's a biased sample, okay? And they're going to do those bias within the self-selected and the convenience sampling, okay? And then you're not going to have to do that, so that's good, right? Yeah, okay. And then here's some more vocabulary. Experiment. So an experiment, which you guys have probably done in science a lot, is whenever we impose a treatment, or we are like a medical treatment, or like they said, adding gasoline or whatever to check effective fuel. It's a treatment in order to collect data. An observational study is what it means. We don't do anything. We're not adding anything. We're just watching. Okay? So we're just studying it. And we're saying, that looks interesting. I'm going to study it. I miss seeing y'all's faces because I feel so stupid just talking to myself. But hopefully this is helping. A survey, so right here, a census is a survey. I hope your parents did the 2020 survey census because that's how we get money for our schools. I enjoyed doing our census. I thought it was interesting. But a survey is when we're asking one or more characteristics of a population. So every member is asked one or more questions. That's a survey. And then a simulation, which I'm sure you guys know from playing video games. It's whenever we model something in that would match real world outcomes. So like right now they're doing like those flattening the curve situations, right, where they're using data to simulate what could happen if we all don't stay in our house. And I'm noticing a lot of you in Zooms are in someone else's house. So be careful, please. We want to be done with this. So flatten that curve to the best of your ability, but still please call your grandmas and grandpas or your friends and stay in touch, because this is a really sad time right now where we're all just sad and just missing people. Okay, so a lot of this is just answering all that vocabulary. So I hope that, again, you got the packet for a couple of reasons. So you didn't have to write all that down, but also so that you could check your work and work through it yourself and just kind of see what's happening and how to answer that. Okay? So, and remember, you don't have to do the Z-scores. Hallelujah. So I hope this helped. If not, come to the Zoom meeting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I will try to help you.